Part 2, Chapter 1 of Kachaan Secret. Izuku was a mess, his mind racing in whirlwind of frustration and self-doubt. He couldn't believe he had done all of that. Why? Why had he ever doubted his boyfriend? Why had he let himself believe for even a second that Katsuki was lying? Why wouldn't he shake this nagging feeling inside him? The worst part about this was that it wasn't based on anything solid. There was no facts, no hard evidence that Katsuki was hiding something. But still, Izuku couldn't ignore the instinct deep in his gut that told him something was off. But then again, a feeling isn't a proof. It wasn't a fact. When he's gone to Best Genius Agency, his plan had been to find some kind of evidence that would confirm his suspicions, but instead, he came up with more reasons to trust Katsuki more than ever, including a reminder of how much his boyfriend had cared for him. Something as simple, yet meaningful, as a picture in his locker. It was the opposite of what he had intended to find. And now, Izuku was left feeling embarrassed and conflicted, questioning why he ever doubted Katsuki in the first place. Now Izuku knew that logically he should probably give up on this whole search, but his determination won out. He trusted his gut. Something was off. He wasn't going to stop until he figured out why Katsuki had been acting so strange than usual. Think, Izuku, think, he urged himself. Where else could he look? The car? No. He checked it multiple times already. There was no way Katsuki hid something there. A rented storage unit? Definitely not. There was no evidence that Katsuki had ever rented one. Even if he had, Izuku had no way of knowing the location or the code to get in. But then, a sudden realization struck him. There was another place where Katsuki could hide something. Not a rented garage storage unit, but something far more personal. A friend's house. Izuku's eye widened as he thought it hit him. Kirishima. Izuku quickly made his way towards Kirishima's apartment. Moving with determination, he weaved through the crowded street, doing his best to avoid bumping into people as he hurried past them. The streets were unusually busy today, and time felt like it was slipping away. When he finally reached Kirishima's building, he didn't waste a second. He knocked sharply on the door, his heart pounding in his chest. A few moments later, the door swung open to reveal Kirishima, his bright smile faltering as he saw the urgency in Izuku's eye. Oh, Midoriya, huh? Yeah, hi, excuse me, Izuku interrupted, stepping forward and gently nudging Kirishima to the side as he walked into the apartment without waiting for a response. His mind was racing, and he couldn't afford to waste another second. Kirishima had been warned by Katsuki that Izuku was getting suspicious, so he wasn't surprised when Izuku began looking around his apartment. Kirishima didn't have any concrete evidence to give Izuku, just a few checks, but those checks hadn't led to anything substantial that would be tied back to the suit. As Izuku moved further into the apartment, Kirishima watched him carefully, his eyes following the other man's every move. Izuku stepped out of the living room area and into Kirishima's small bedroom. The apartment itself was cozy, designed to help Kirishima save money for his future with Mina, his girlfriend of the year. The layout was simple, one open kitchen and a living room, and just two small rooms. the bedroom, and a bathroom. The bedroom drawer was just a few feet from the kitchen, so Kirishima took a step towards the fridge, opening it with a soft sigh. He pulled out of the bottle of water, his eye darting towards the bedroom as he saw Izuku rifling through things. "Can I offer you something to drink?" Kirishima called over his shoulder, trying to sound casual as he unscrewed the cap of the bottle. Izuku walked into the kitchen area, his face tight with frustration. He didn't even acknowledge the offer. "I know you know," he said, flatly, his voice thick with tension. "I don't know what you're talking about, man," Kirishima stammered, trying to defend himself. Izuku narrowed his eyes and stepped closer, snatching the bottle of water from his hand before placing it sharply on the counter. "Don't play dumb with me, Kirishima," Izuku shot back, his voice firm. "I walked in here, I searched through your apartment, and all you can say is, 'Can I offer you something to drink?' I'm not an idiot." His gaze sharp hardened as he pointed directly at Kirishima. "I know Kachaan called you. There's no other reason you'll be acting this casual, and you're not fooling anyone." Kirishima shifted uncomfortably, his lips pressed together as he avoided Izuku's gaze. "Well, there was that one time," he started, his voice trailing off slightly, "when you wanted to know what Katsuki got for Christmas because you were trying to outdo him. You ended up snooping around my apartment, looking for the present. I just assumed the situation was a bit like that, you know." Izuku's face instantly flushed, his finger dropping to his side as embarrassment washed over him. He rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly, realizing how out of line he had been. "Right. I did do that, didn't I?" Izuku murmured, a sheepish laugh escaping him as he avoided making eye contact. He reached for the bottle of water, handing it back to Kirishima with a quiet and sincere apology. "Sorry about that. I guess I got a little carried away." Kirishima chuckled loudly, giving Izuku a friendly pat on the back. "It's all good, man," he said, his tone warm. "You can keep searching if you want. I don't mind." Izuku shook his head, his shoulders slumping slightly as he let out a small sigh. "No, it's all right," he murmured, his voice tinged with exhaustion. "Sorry, I'm just having a bad day." Without another word, Izuku walked towards the couch, sinking down on it. Kirishima followed suit, settling into the small couch beside him. His expression softened as he turned to face his friend. "What's going on, man?" he asked, genuinely curious. Izuku's shoulders slumped even further as he let out another long, weary sigh. "I don't know," he admitted, his voice quiet and uncertain. I thought Kachaan was acting strange. I kept getting this feeling that he was hiding something from me, and it just made me paranoid, I guess. But now that I've looked into it, I don't think he's hiding anything after all. I'm probably just overthinking everything." Kirishima listened closely, as his heart ached slightly for Izuku. He felt guilty, knowing that Katsuki was hiding something, but couldn't exactly share that with Izuku. After all, it was a surprise for him. Instead, he offered a reassuring smile and moved to the space next to Izuku, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Look, man," he said earnestly. "Honestly, I think you should just talk it out with Katsuki when he gets back from his mission. It's never good to keep that kind of uncertainty hanging in the air in a relationship." Kirishima knew the truth. Katsuki was keeping a secret, but when the time was right, Izuku would find out. He knew the surprise would be worth it. "Yeah, You're right. Izuku's words fluttered as his gaze landed on something unexpected. His eyes focused on the tablet where Kirishima's checkbook laid, and his heart skipped a beat. There, on one of the check, was amount of 6,740 yen, roughly 50 US dollars. At first glance, everything seemed normal until his eyes caught the name written as a receipt for Island Academy. Izuku's breath hitched in his chest. Now, Izuku never told anyone this, but about 3 years ago, he found out that Katsuki has sent out a check to Island Academy for 33,750 yen, roughly about 250 US dollars. He didn't know why Katsuki had sent out that money, but he never questioned him either. In the long run, he came up with his own conclusion that Katsuki was maybe funding for a charity, but now seeing Kirishima's check to the same place, the same institution, sent an unfamiliar chill down his spine. What was going on? Mito bro, is something wrong? Kirishima's voice broke through his thought, his concern evident in his tone. Izuku blinked, shaking his head to clear the fog. No, sorry, it's nothing. Thanks for talking to me, really, he said, his voice tight. Without giving Kirishima a chance to say anything more, Izuku stood up abruptly. His mind was too muddled to continue the conversation, and with a hasty nod, he made his way toward the door, leaving without another word. Izuku anxiously scrolled through his contacts, his finger trembling as he found Melissa's number. He lifted the receiver of the telephone booth, feeling the cold plastic against his ear. As he dialed her number, his heart raced as he waited for the call to connect, each ring making him more uneasy. He nervously bit his lips, the sound of the phone ringing echoing in the small booth. Hello? A voice finally answered. Izuku froze, his mind racing as he strained to hear the faint background noise on the line. He didn't respond, listening carefully. Hello, Melissa repeated, sounding confused as the silence stretched on. In the background, he could hear the soft murmur of another girl's voice asking, Who's calling you? I don't know. No one is answering, Melissa responded. Just hang up. Come on, let's go show Bakugo how to properly close the case, the other girl urged. Izuku's breath caught in his throat as his mind scrambled through to process the word. Bakugo? Kachaan. He leaned against the booth, his finger tightening around the receiver. What's Kachaan doing at Island Academy? His thought was on a mission. The mention of a case only deepened the confusion, and Izuku's heart raced faster. The other girl's voice, it sounded so familiar, almost too familiar, but Izuku couldn't place it, no matter how hard he tried. The peeping sound of a call ending rang in his ear, but Izuku couldn't bring himself to hang up. His mind was in turmoil. What the actual fuck was going on? Izuku pulled out the phone, his hand trembling slightly as he navigated to Katsuki's number. He hesitated for a moment before pressing the call button. His heart raced as the phone rang, once, twice, 3 times. Each ring felt like an eternity. By the time the 4th ring ended, he heard Katsuki's voice on the other hand. Hey Izuku. Kachaan, exhaled Izuku, relieved but still anxious. Hi, where are you? There was a brief pause on the line before Katsuki replied, his tone low but laced with amusement. I should be asking you that. I heard you made a little visit to the Best Genius Agency. What was that all about? Izuku felt a rush of heat rise to his face, but he quickly shook it off. He wasn't in the mood for games. He shifted uncomfortably. His thought clouded with confusion and frustration. His hands were gripping the phone so tightly his knuckle turned white. I'm tired of this. I just want the truth. He could feel a headache creeping up, his patience thinning. Kachaan, please, just tell me what's going on. This is too much. I can't keep pretending everything is fine when it's not. I need to know. To his surprise, Katsuki let out a long sigh before speaking again. His voice soft but still firm. Izuku, look, I know you know that I'm hiding something. I didn't want you to find out this way. Izuku felt his chest tighten. He knows I know? Yes, Kachaan, please. This has been eating at me. I can't stand not knowing. I need to hear it from you. There was another heavy pause. And when Katsuki finally spoke, his tone was calm but insistent. Izuku, calm down and listen to me. Go home, have some tea, get some rest. Tomorrow when you wake up, it'll just be one more day until I'm there, I promise. Izuku's voice cracked with frustration. But Kachaan, I want to know now. I can't wait. I know. Katsuki's voice softened, and Izuku could almost hear the exhaustion in it. Do you trust me? Izuku's heart beat a little faster at the question. Yes, you know I do. Katsuki's tone turned gentle, almost tender. Then do as I say, all right? Just trust me, baby. It'll be okay. Izuku let out a shaky breath, feeling the weight of the momentum settle over him. Okay, he murmured softly, his heart heavy. I love you, Katsuki said, his voice warm despite the tension. Call me before you go to bed, okay? Izuku smiled despite himself, his voice barely above a whisper. Okay, Kachaan, I love you too. As the call ended, Katsuki lowered his phone, his expression worried. He let out a long, frustrated sigh. Gosh, that was so close. Don't worry, young Katsuki, All Might said, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Soon. Katsuki nodded, squeezing his eyes shut for a moment as he tried to steady his racing thought. Soon, he repeated quietly, more to himself than to anyone else. Thank you for reading Kachaan Secret by tharealKCloud. Please leave a comment, kudos in the original work that could be found in AO3. Subscribe to my channel for more Pakudeku Fix reading. I hope you enjoyed this. Would love to see your support in the comment section, in the likes, and in the subscription. Comment if you have a fanfiction that you would like me to read as well. Again, thank you for the chance to listening to this. This is my first fanfic that I'm podficking, so thank you, tharealKCloud, for allowing me to put your work into my voice and allowing me to record it. Appreciate you for that. Again, everyone, thank you for listening. Please follow, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, as well as going into AO3 to read the original work from Kachaan's Secret.